Hey, it's Miko. I got the 2020 M340i. First time we got one. Just got a few today. Going to drive it. Really quick walk around before we drive it, just to show you the visual cues of the M performance cars. So not the real M cars, not the M3, M5, but the cars that have the M in front of the number, and then the longer number is just one digit. So they all have, this is the signature color, kind of like the bronze thing. The tailpipe looks like it's kind of divided, so it looks like quad pipe, but it's actually just two exhaust pipes and the same color. Then the wheels, unless you have different wheels, the standard wheels will also might have the same color. If you look at the mirror caps, same thing. Couple of accents in the front. Right here is one of them, and around the grille. This is the whole other story, the whole design of this grille. This is the same with the new Z4. Looks like that's the new design language for BMW, kind of controversial. But you know, this is pretty much non-functional, just aesthetic grille. On some models it does open up, but they really don't need it anymore with the new technology and with this. So, you know, that's just a new design. All right, enough talk. Let's get into the car. We're going to drive it and talk about it while we drive. Okay. So I did a video for the 330i a couple of months ago when I just got it, and I was very impressed. I love that car. I see one in my future. Very high possibility. This one, you know, I'm not usually the kind of person to drive one of these like performance cars, but it's definitely impressive. It was impressive on paper, and I just drove it for a few blocks to get here, and it's already it's just very formidable, impressive car. The whole thing, well, we're gonna drive, so I might shut up for a little bit just to get a feel for it, but while we're getting on the freeway, the whole thing, I'm thinking for this car to replace, for everybody that wants an M3 or M4, to have this car is something that makes more sense, because it has more power by numbers and just performance than not the current M3, but at least like the previous, the V8 version, the like 2013 last year. But it's just much more comfortable. So for most people that want an M3, M4, they don't want it to be loud and uncomfortable. They want it to be fast and, you know, very sporty, aggressive, but still something you can drive every day. It's something that's going to be your daily driver, not just something you take out of the garage once a week. So we're on the freeway, we're in comfort mode. I'm not going to mess with it yet. One thing that I feel just driving in the city, it is quieter. Well, you know, the whole new body is quieter, but when you get this bigger engine, that means it doesn't need to rev up as high, so that improves the quietness of the car, which adds to the comfort of the ride. Again, that's what people are looking for. I'm sure it's going to be pretty loud. It's got this really raspy exhaust note, especially when you put it in sport, and we're going to experience that a little bit later. But for now, I'm just trying to get a feel for it. So there's an Uber car that's not going to let me go fast, which is fine, I guess. While we're tailing the Prius, we can talk about the pricing. So it is a pricey car. This one I think is about 65. The base price is what, about 60, just below 60? Yeah, so, you know, let's say 58, 59,000. It's a really high price tag, but the M means it comes with M package. That's one. Two, it has a lot of other stuff that's included. Things that you used to have to pay for: keyless entry, moonroof, which also has like power cover, which, you know, like only the 5 used to get. This one has the full parking package, which is not listed on the sticker, which I think BMW is missing opportunity. At least listed as something that's free. But the whole parking package means it has 4 cameras, sensors front and back, self-parking, parallel, perpendicular, the whole thing. So again, this is something you get for free that's included. Safety features, I think we went through this a little bit. The accident prevention, just click on that. Configure. There you go. Lane departure, front collision. One thing is weird, they did not throw in blind spot detection, which I think they should have, but it is what it is. But, not going to be too picky about it. There's a lot of free stuff in this car. These displays, full navigation, that's included as well. Is head-up display included? I don't think so. Probably premium package. So, high price tag, but these cars qualify for all the same promotions as regular 3 Series, so that's going to help a lot. BMW supports pretty good residual, qualifies for all the rebates, loyalty, conquest, these promotions, all that stuff. So here's the plan. We are getting off the freeway in about 2 exits, and we're going to get to my favorite spot where we actually can have fun with the car in sport mode. Until then, I'm not going to get too aggressive here. I will try to get ahead, but not going to push it too much. Same with the 330. The ergonomics of this car are really impressive. Just, I don't know if you can see, but I can rest my elbow here on armrest, rest my left elbow on the door on the handle, and my hands are in the perfect 3 and 9 clock position on the steering wheel. So that's extremely comfortable. Sport seats, of course, but these are the same seats that all these cars get. Supportive, good headrest, which I really didn't need to adjust. It's just in the right place. Alright, we're coming up on the exit. So the question is, will be for main people this or the M3? This is another reason I think where BMW went away with a regular 6-cylinder engine models, pretty much for the whole lineup. No, the 5 Series still has the regular 540i, but not the V8. But like the X3, the 2 Series, if you think you need the, well, let's think about different ways. If you think you need the 6-cylinder, if you think you need the more power, you will get the M Sport. But mainly it's because most people do not need more power than the regular 4-cylinder, like the new lineup, unless you want to race it, unless you want a real, almost a race car, then you get the whole package, not just the engine, but you get the M package, suspension, steering, you get the whole thing. And I think that's pretty logical, especially since with new cars, but especially with used cars, we've always seen it, like let's say 335. Nobody really wants a 335 without the M Sport package. That'll usually were the cars that are really hard to sell, and they would sell to an older clientele that still has this thinking that 4-cylinder is not enough. And again, for most people, myself included, 4-cylinder on these cars is just plenty. Alright, so we've got a minivan in front of us. We get these nice bumps that actually a good place to test the suspension because it is stiff, and the word on the street is that you probably want adaptive M suspension with this car, otherwise it is too stiff. Like this one has adaptive M Sport, so in comfort right now it is very comfortable. And what people are saying is that if you don't get the M Sport suspension, then it's just too stiff for regular driving. You want to have the option of switching back and forth. So I guess there's that. Okay, so a little tow truck in front of us. We're still 2 blocks away from the V spot. Acceleration regular mode, and it's very smooth, very pleasant, very instantaneous. Does not like snap your head. Just really near progression of the power. You don't feel the turbo jumps at random spots. So it works really well. And you can hear the exhaust note again. I don't think it's anything is pumped to the cabin. It's nice and quiet. All right, I think we got this light. Perfect. And are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. Sport mode. Here we go. All right, so the steering feels different right away. It's just instant. Suspension feels better. Just the way it took the turn was. Again, you just feel the difference. Power delivery, it's like on the edge of your toe. Very confident, very easy to drive, but it like keeps you alert, keeps you just. It's interesting how these cars make you feel. And some of them are just going fast here will make you anxious. This one, no, it just makes you alert, but very confident in what the car can do. Red light. My ears are popping. Okay, so you can hear it right now. The downshift was really nice. Again, the steering going, accelerating into a corner. It's so smooth. I love it. Okay, that's just beautiful how it takes this corner. All the bumpiness, like it is stiff, there will be a bump, but then the suspension just dampens it right away. So I don't know how to, maybe I'm not describing it correctly, but it feels really nice. And I think I'm feeling like I'm being pretty aggressive right now, and I think I feel the traction control kind of holding me in place very subtly. And not that I'm an experienced race driver, but for people that don't race, you would not even feel it. It just does it smoothly, keeps you from killing yourself, and business as usual. How quiet it is, like you hear the wind noise, that's all you hear. This turn is tricky and going too fast. Slow down, downshift. We heard the downshift, it was really good. Obviously, I'm in full automatic mode. I don't like messing with pedals or gear shifts while I'm doing these videos. And this is it. Coming up to a light or a stop sign. Used to be a stop sign, didn't put it right here. No, still a stop sign. Okay. So, as expected, amazing car. Not an M3. It's not as aggressive because that like the recent M3 up to 2019, I guess 2018, whatever. Is more aggressive than this. I'm trying to turn around here. It is more aggressive. It is stiffer. It is louder. So it's more in your face. But what's who needs that? That's the big question. I just don't know. Again, it's more a question why most people or whoever thinks they need an M3, they really need it. Do they need it because they're gonna race? Do they need it because they want a sporty car? Or do they just want to have the car with the highest price tag, the best of the best of the best? So yeah, M3 will have the higher price tag. It will be faster, but there's no way you can use more than this anywhere on the road, and I'm sure this car will be a blast on the racetrack. So as a conclusion, I guess, it's not an M3, but 99% of people would not need an M3 over this car. This car would be a blast to race, a blast to drive every day. You're not going to be disappointed. And what else? Just trying to arrange my feeling around it. Well, last thing is another thing that a lot of people contemplate: 5 Series versus the 3 Series. And this car will make this decision tougher because it used to be that 5, especially the recent 5, was newer model than the 3 Series, and it was much more refined and luxurious ride than the 3. It would be quieter, nicer suspension, you would really feel it. But now the 3 Series leaps ahead. It is a newer, more advanced than the 5 Series, and still, I guess the 5 is more luxurious. Like, you take the 540 compared to this one, it will be more luxurious than this. It will be more serious car, but this will be just as fun, if not more fun. So if before, I might lean towards the 5 Series. If I had to choose, let's say 530 versus 340. Sorry if I'm getting too confusing, but this definitely bumps the needle towards the 3 Series, towards this car versus the 5. Still not, you don't get the, obviously don't have the size and the room of the 5 Series, and you don't get quite the luxury. But this car has different spirit. It is luxurious, but it's just super sporty, very aggressive, very fun to drive. I guess that'll be it. Thanks for watching.